Wow. Wow. I knew the San Francisco 49ers would beat the Dallas Cowboys, but they beat the brakes off of them. Cowboys fans, if you're here, avert your eyes, maybe push pause, walk away. Don't watch this because I told you. I told you. I told you the San Francisco 49ers are better every level on both sides of the football. But all you kept telling me was, we beat the Giants. We had 7 sacks, 41-0. Look what we did to the Patriots. Whoa, I thought they were going to run the ball down our throats. Oh, my goodness, look at our defense. 42. Jackie Robinson. Don Julio. That's what they put up on you. Now, earlier in the season, the San Francisco 49ers played the Pittsburgh Steelers. They held them to 30. Pittsburgh Steelers held them to 30. The LA Rams held them to 30. Heck, the Arizona Cardinals held them to 35. But you know what Kyle Shanahan said he got for the good old Cowboys? He said, I got Don Julio, 19-42. We're going to put this up on the board. We're going to run it down your throat. Oh, you're going to stop Christian McCaffrey. All week, the Dallas Cowboys players and coaches talked about how they're going to stop Christian McCaffrey. Well, you did a solid job. He only averaged like 2.7 a carry, I think. But then you had Jordan Mason running down your throat. And you forgot about the all-pro tight end, George Kittle. I hear people talking about the three-headed monster you got at safety. You got pretty good players. George Kittle scored on all 3 of them. Did you see Brandon Ayuk? He's an issue. He's an issue. Did you see Deebo Samuels? You might remember him. He's an issue. And he's going to be. And you know what else is an issue? Your offense. You have a fringe one receiver in CeeDee Lamb who could go off from time to time. He could have 10 catches, 11 catches for 140. He's done that this season. But can he do it against an elite defense consistently? He did it in the playoffs last year for him. He did it. But Dak Prescott is going to let you down against an elite defense. Everybody keeps saying, that's why we got rid of Kellen Moore. He was just pushing the ball down the field too much. He's just too pass happy. And he wouldn't just give balance. And then at the halftime, you hear Mike McCarthy talk about, man, I'm throwing it too much. I probably need some balance. So what did we get rid of Kellen Moore for? To get worse? 10 points. And San Francisco set their starters almost the entire fourth quarter. 10 points. Mike McCarthy ran out his starters against the San Francisco 49ers 2s. And he got picked. You shouldn't feel good, Dallas Cowboys fans, because it only gets harder. Guess what? The offensive coordinator who you gave up on, you got to see next week, Kellen Moore. The Chargers, and they got some weapons on offense. The 49ers got great weapons. Wait till you see what they're doing with Keenan Allen. Mike Williams is hurt right now, but Austin Eckler, he may be coming back. They got some guys, and they got a quarterback who can throw the ball around the yard. I thought Brock Purdy was just a game manager. But he had almost more touchdowns in this game than he had the entire season, almost doubled up his total. And he had played 4 games before. He had a career day. So all the people out there saying, Brock Purdy's not for real. Brock Purdy is a game manager. Wait until he goes against the elite defense. This was supposed to be his test. Aces. He aced the test. It wasn't a test because this team isn't who people think they are. They're a team that's beat up on lesser opponents, and they're going to have their hands full when the Philadelphia Eagles come into town, when the Chargers come into town. They have a stretch where they play the Philadelphia Eagles twice. They play the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. Woo! So Dallas Cowboys fans, just stay out of my mentions for a while. San Francisco 49ers are the real deal. Great game for Brock Purdy. Really put him in the upper echelon of the quarterback conversation. Probably top 6, top 7. It's hard to get in that top 5 right now with Mahomes and Allen and Herbert. Now he's back in his ways. Burrow. I think those guys are still the elite cream of the crop. And Hurts, went to the Super Bowl last year. He beat the Brock Purdy-led team because Brock Purdy got injured early in the game. But my good, this was a good week of football, though. Something magical happens when the third quarter ends and the fourth quarter begins. The energy changes. The fourth quarter is where games are won, where champions are made. And in business, it's where sales teams become legends. That's why HubSpot built Sales Hub to give sales reps the deal-making tools they need to win in Q4 and close the year strong. Sales Hub's prospecting workspace organizes your schedule, goals, and to-do list in one place to save your team precious fourth quarter time. Smart sequences help sales reps close deals faster than ever. With an easy-to-use management tool, reps can find, track, and close deals all in one place. Plus, AI forecasting helps you accurately predict future success, which means less hoping for deals and more crushing targets. Put your sales team on the fast track to winning Q4 with Sales Hub. Learn more at HubSpot.com/sales. This was a really good week of football. The Denver Broncos had a shot. Their defense just could not stop Zach Wilson. They sacked him a few times, could not make, Patrick Surtain had a great interception against Garrett Wilson. But at the end of the day, Breece Hall, 8 yards to carry. 8 yards to carry on 22 carries, 177 yards and a touchdown, really took over this game. You can see why he was frustrated, why he only got 4 touches versus the Dallas Cowboys. He's like, I'm an elite player. Give me the ball, and I can make a difference. And he showed that. Give Zach Wilson a ton of credit. He did exactly what he needed to do. Another solid game for him. His team needed him to be this way to win. Huge win for Nathaniel Hackett, and a concerning point for Sean Payton. A very concerning point, because Sean Payton kind of put his foot in his mouth early in the offseason. And I like Sean Payton, but he talked about how terrible of a job Nathaniel Hackett did last season. Can't do it. He showed a Bronco driving off of a cliff. That's looking more symbolic of this season than it did of last season, because Russell Wilson has been playing pretty solid. He's been pretty efficient. This was probably his worst game of the stretch, but he's been playing pretty solid. That defense has been giving up, and for them to give up 177 yards, they've still only got one win, and I can't see them getting another win. I mean, they could potentially beat Green Bay, but I don't see them beating Kansas City. They play them twice in the next, 3 weeks? I don't see them beating Kansas City either of those games. They could beat Green Bay. I mean, can they beat Buffalo? Can they beat Miami? Can they beat teams like that? Clearly, they couldn't beat Miami. Can they beat Buffalo? I don't think they can. So they got a tough stretch, and there's going to be some questions that needs to be answered for Sean Payton. Like, what is he going to do? Does he keep sticking with Russ? Because technically, Russ isn't the main issue. I mean, clearly he had the game-ending turnover, and you saw on the sideline, Sean Payton is like, you're hot to the back. And you hear fans talking about, what does that mean? What does that mean? That means you're hot to the back. That means there's going to be a free rusher. You know that. You know that. You know where your hot read is, and you should get the ball out quick. You don't have time to hold the ball. You don't have time to scramble. You don't have time to do anything. That hit your back step, let the ball go, know where the pressure is coming from. That's what I told you guys he has always struggled with. Russell has struggled with certain things. Hitting your back foot and letting the ball go has not been his strength. He's done it at times efficiently and effectively, but it's not what he does. He's not Drew Brees. Just because guys are the same size doesn't mean they're the same type of quarterback. There are corners that are 6'2", 6'3", play the game different than I do at 6'2", 6'3". You're like, hey, every corner that's 6'2" should be Richard Sherman. They're not, because there's different makeups, there's different mindsets, there's different techniques. And Russell Wilson's special in his own way. Off-scripted, he ran the ball well. Off-scripted plays, he's playing at a really high level. If you look, he's very efficient. He's throwing explosive passes. He's throwing touchdowns. But if you're asking him to be something he's not going to do it well. And that's what's happening with this Sean Payton coached offense. He's trying his best to do what Sean wants him to do. Hey, hit this guy, hit this guy, hit this guy. But the numbers aren't there most of the time. He has had a 300-yard game where he did get his numbers, but for the most part, the yards per catch numbers aren't there, and it's just not a great match. And then Vance Joseph and his defense, Sean's sticking with him because he's a loyal guy, as he should. But if he continues, if they get down to the path where they're 1-8, 1-9, who takes the blame? That's the question. That's the big question. This is a great week. This is all I got for you now. I'll get the rest of it with my guy, Mitch Eisenstein, later on today. Stick with us. See you soon.